How do you become a high-paid copywriter from home even if you're a total beginner? That's what you're going to learn in this video. Now this video is for anybody who wants to learn the highest form of writing in existence outside of becoming the next J.K. Rowling or Stephen King. It's called copywriting. It's writing the words that sell products and services. Maybe you've seen those long scrolling web pages that sell things and you wonder, who reads this stuff? Only the people who buy that stuff. And this is the highest paid form of writing in existence. You can get paid anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 per letter up to $10,000, $20,000 or even more for a single letter that sells a product or service. There are 12 mileposts on this path to becoming a high-paid copywriter from home, even if you're a total beginner. And milepost number 1 is you got to enjoy writing. If you hate writing, you're going to hate this. But if you love to write, and you can only imagine what it would be like to get paid and paid well to do what you love, stick with me. You're going to love this path I'm going to mark out for you right now. Step 2, polish up your writing skills. You might want to start with this book, Strunk and White's Elements of Style. I read it once every year, whether I need to or not. My proofreader says, I need to. I'm a copywriter, not a copy speller. You also might want to check out On Writing Well by Zinsser. It's a great brush up on the finer points of writing well. I love that book. You'll love it too. If you love to write, check out On Writing Well. Milepost number 3, become a connoisseur of great copy. Find the pieces of copy that have worked well, that have sold well, that have made millions of dollars or even billions of dollars in sales, and emulate them, read them, study them carefully. The trouble is finding copy you know sold well. There's plenty of people who call themselves copywriters who publish their copywriting work and say, this did great, but how do you know it did great? How do you know they're not, well, let's say, shading the truth a little bit? Let's be kind about it. You've got to know for sure the copy actually worked before you study it, because otherwise you may be studying the wrong way to do it. I've done some work for you and put together some copy that absolutely worked very well, sold many millions of dollars worth of products and services. You can find a link to this free PDF below in the notes below this video. Just click on the link, download the swipe file as we call it. I'll get to that later. And you'll have some great copy to study and become a connoisseur of copy. Milepost number 4 on the path to becoming a high-paid copywriter from home, even if you're a beginner, is read the basic classic books on copywriting. And what are those books? Well, I've also done this homework for you too. Here are the books you need to start with. David Ogilvy's Confessions of an Advertising Man. It's a little dated in the language, but if you liked Mad Men, you'll love this book. He was the original madman. In fact, the series was based on Mr. David Ogilvy. Check it out, Amazon.com. Next up on the required reading list is Claude Hopkins' 2 little books combined into one small book called My Life in Advertising and Scientific Advertising. Looks just like this. Claude Hopkins, read it and learn. This next book is one you should not only read, you should actually study it very carefully. It's called Breakthrough Advertising. It's by Eugene Schwartz. Those first 3 books I recommended are older books, and that's not to their detriment, it's to their praise. They have stood the test of time. They teach the principles that stand true over time. If you want something a little more modern, a little easier to digest, try my book, How to Write Copy That Sells by Ray Edwards. Ray Edwards. Invoking hypnotic powers here. Milepost number 5 on the path to becoming a copywriter from home, even with no experience. You've got to be a student, a beginner. Especially if you're a well-trained academic writer, you're going to have to unlearn a lot of things you've already learned. You've got to be humble enough to say, okay, at this kind of writing, I am a beginner. I'm going to relearn things. I'm going to be open to trying things that seem off to me, maybe seem grammatically incorrect to me. For instance, in my copy that I get paid very well for, I use lots of sentence fragments and short paragraphs and short sentences and short words. This is not what you learned in English Composition 201 or beyond. This is basic writing, but writing simply is not always easier. Sometimes it's much tougher. Be a beginner, be willing to try things that seem counterintuitive to you because they work. Milepost number 6 on the path to becoming a copywriter from home, find a great teacher and a coach and get feedback. You can only go so far reading books and emulating other people's writing. At some point you've got to let somebody else read it and get their feedback on what you're doing. Get them to say, this is done well, I might suggest rewriting this, trying this a different way. You've got to get feedback from an experienced, good coach and teacher. Now make sure you get coached from somebody who actually has written copy that has sold lots of products and services. Otherwise, you're just listening to someone who may or may not know what they're talking about, and that could be even more dangerous than no feedback at all. So make sure whoever your coach or teacher is, they have experience and they actually have a track record of success as a copywriter, not as an English lit teacher or professor, but as a copywriter whose copy has sold stuff. Milepost number 7 on the path to becoming a great copywriter from home. Even if you're a beginner, write a lot of copy. That's right, write lots and lots of copy. Copy that will never see the light of day. You got to get some practice in. Write a few sales letters, write some emails, write a product launch sequence. Write a lot of copy. I mean a lot of copy. And you know how you write good copy? You write lots of bad copy. So you got to start sometime. Start at the beginning. Start rewriting copy you read that seems great to you and see if you can improve it or how you might write it differently. But the point is, write a lot of copy. Milepost number 8 on your path to becoming a copywriter from home. You've got to test your copy in the marketplace. There is no test that any coach or teacher or person grading your paper is going to give you that's going to be harder and tougher and more realistic than testing it in the marketplace. Putting your copy out in front of people and seeing do they actually buy. That's the only test of copy. Does it sell? If it sells, it's good copy. If it doesn't, it's bad copy, no matter how, quote, well written it may be. If it doesn't sell, it doesn't work, it doesn't pay. So your copy's got to give results. It's the only test that matters. Milepost number 9 on the road to becoming a copywriter from home. Read a good, proven piece of copy every day. Just read it, soak it up. Read it out loud even, because as you invoke the emotion from the words and you tell it as if you're telling a story to yourself, you'll start to get the rhythms of copy in your bones. In fact, one great exercise you can perform is, after you've read the copy through every day, write some of it out, copy it out by hand. Copy great winning copy out by hand with pen on paper. There's nothing like it to burn the language of great copy and great selling into your neurons like writing it out by hand. Something about the eye reading the copy, the brain interpreting it, the hand writing it out on paper makes it stick inside you like nothing else. So copy out great copy by hand and read great copy every single day. Milepost number 10 on the road to becoming a great copywriter is keep learning. There's never an end to the learning. It's good to always hone your skills. You can always get better. You can always get your craft more dialed in. How do you do it? Through books, yes. Through online courses, through having a great coach or mentor or teacher, to attending workshops, by getting hold of great swipe files of proven copy, and studying and loving and learning the craft even more and more, practicing each day, taking great ads and rewriting them, asking yourself, how would I make this better? How to do this differently? Keep learning. Remain an eternal student. Milepost number 11 on the road to becoming a copywriter from home is get clients. Just as simple as that. Until somebody pays you, you're not a paid copywriter. How do you get clients? That is the subject of another video linked up here. You might want to watch this one on my channel and start getting clients as soon as possible so you get paid as soon as possible so you can make money as a copywriter. Milepost number 12, become your own best client. At some point as a high-paid copywriter, you begin to realize and ask yourself the question, why do people pay me all this money to write this great copy? Because writing copy is not easy for everybody, like it is for you and I, and because great copy makes them lots of money. They can afford to buy you at wholesale as a copywriter and sell you at retail. In other words, use your copy to sell their stuff and make a big profit even after they paid you big money. Think about that for a minute. Who made the most money? You, who got paid $30,000 to write a product launch sequence, or the person who did the launch and hired you, the person who made $3 million in their product launch? What if it was you making the $3 million instead of the $30,000? That's how you become your own best client. You create your own products, do your own product launches, writing your own copy. You're now your best copywriting client. Those are the 12 milestones on the path to becoming a copywriter from home, even if you're a total beginner. Follow these 12 steps and you will get there, my friend, maybe quicker than you think. For more information on becoming a copywriter from home and making 6 figures or even 7 figures as a writer from home, yes, it is possible. I do it, you can do it too. You might want to check out some of the other videos on my channel, which are tailored just to that subject. Until then, I wish you great peace and prosperity, and may your writing pay you well. See you in the next video.